Hello children, good afternoon. Welcome back to today's online class. I am Radhika, your economics teacher. Children, we were studying about economics chapter 3rd, money and credit. Today you have a part 3. Today's your topic is terms of credit. Before starting this topic, first we can see what is credit. Credit refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrowers with the money in return for the promise of future payment. What is credit, children? It is an agreement between two parties. Two parties means a lender and a borrower. It is an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrowers with the money. Lender giving money to the borrower in return for the promise of future payment. This is called a credit. What is credit? It is an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with the money in return for the promise of future payment. It is an agreement between two parties. Two parties means lender and a borrower. Lender giving money to the borrower in return for the promise of future payment. That agreement is called credit. Credit refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with the money in return for the promise of future payment. Okay, children. Okay. Next, already we discussed this topic. Sources of credit in rural India. The children, please try to say which all are the sources of credit in rural India. Money lenders, landlords, relatives and friends, commercial banks, and cooperative societies. These are the main sources of credit in rural India. Sources of credit in rural India means from what sources does a person get a loan? Then please say children, from where does a person get credit? From money lenders, landlords, relatives and friends, commercial banks and cooperative societies. Okay children, now I am going to categorizing these given items into two groups. That is Group 1 and Group 2. In the Group 1, items are money lenders, landlords and relatives and friends. In the second group, first one, commercial banks and cooperative societies. Children, can you guess on what basis these groups are classified? Yes, on the basis of rate of interest, requirements of collateral and mode of repayment. Okay children, now I categorized the given items into two groups. First group consists of landlords, money lenders, relatives and friends. In the second group, commercial banks and cooperative societies. On which basis I divided that items into two groups? On the basis of rate of interest, requirements of collateral and mode of payment. Okay children, rate of interest means which the borrower must pay to the lender along with the repayment of the principal. Interest rate which the borrower must pay to the lender along with the repayment of the principal. Then second, requirement of collateral. You know what is the meaning of collateral? Collateral means it is an asset that the borrower owns and use as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. Collateral means it is an asset. Then whose asset? The borrower asset. And that borrower using that asset as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. In a short, the security is called collateral. What security we giving to the lender for borrowing money? That security is called collateral. Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns and use as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. The collateral may be land, building, vehicles, livestock, deposits with the bank, ornaments, anything. These all things together is known as collateral. Collateral is an asset of the borrower using that as a guarantee to the lender until the loan is repaid. Okay, children, collateral means it may be land, building, vehicle, livestock, deposits with bank and ornaments, etc. Clear? Then, first we said rate of interest. Rate of interest means the interest rate which the borrower must pay to the lender along with the repayment of the principal. Then second, requirement of collateral. Then what all are the collateral required for collecting loan? Then next, mode of repayment. Mode of repayment means how the borrower would repay the lender his or her loan amount. Once again, children. Mode of repayment means how the borrower would repay the loan amount to the lender. In which way borrower giving that loan amount to the lender. That means on monthly, quarterly, half yearly or yearly basis. In which way the borrower repaying that loan amount to the lender. That is called mode of repayment. You know, children, what all are the things, children? On which basis we categorizing that sources of credit into two groups? On the basis of rate of interest, requirements of collateral and a mode of repayment. Interest rate, collateral and documents, the mode of repayments together comprise what is called terms of credit. These are called what, children? Terms of credit. Then please say what are called the terms of credit? The interest rate, collateral and documents, the mode of payment. Okay, these all three things are depending on the loan. When one person's borrowing money from the lender, that time what all are the things is related with that loan? Interest rate is there. We need to give a collateral, that means security we want to give, and mode of repayment. That three together is called terms of credit. These are called terms of credit. What are called terms of credit? Interest rate, collateral and documents, and a mode of repayment. These three things are very, very essential for buying or taking a loan. These three things together is known as terms of credit. Clear, children? What are called the terms of credit? Interest rate, collateral and documents, the mode of repayment together comprise what is called terms of credit. Rate of interest, requirements of collateral and a mode of repayment. This together is called what, children? Terms of credit. Okay. Let's see how the terms of credit are related to the source of credit. Okay, children, how the terms of credit are related to the sources of credit. Sources of credit means first one, money lenders. Okay, in a money lenders, which type of interest rate they will charge? They will charge a high interest rate. Requirements of collateral, lower requirements. Lower requirements means the most of the time they will not collect any big collateral or a high demand. Without any securities, they are ready to give the loans. That is why it is called a lower requirements. Mode of repayment means it is also very easy. Very easy means the borrower can go to his house and give money. There is no other formalities. No need to fill any forms. Clear, children? But rate of interest is very high. And requirements of collateral means, okay, they need a collateral, but no need too much collateral, too much securities. Okay, children. Then, second source of credit is cooperatives. The rate of interest is low. They will charge only less rate of interest. But the requirements of collateral means higher requirements. That means which security we are giving for taking loans, then we want to prove it. That securities is that borrower's security. This is my security. Like that we want to prove. Then only they are ready to give the loans. That is why it is called a higher requirements. But for the money lenders, no need. We want to give any securities. Then there no need to prove it. This is mine. Okay, but in a cooperatives, we should prove this is mine. Okay. Then mode of payment also very difficult. That means we want to go to the bank and fill a one form. Then after only we can pay the loan amount. We can repay the loan amount. So many formalities are there. But for the money lenders, it is very, very easy. Go to his house and give the money. But in a cooperative means it is a one type of bank. We want to go to there and fill a certain forms. Then after only they are ready to collect that money. Okay, children. The next source of credit is landlords. Then rate of interest. Which type of interest they will charge? They will charge high. Very good. Then the requirements of collateral is higher or lower? Very good. Lower. And mode of repayment, it is very easy. Very good. Next, sources of credit. Relatives and friends. Then which rate of interest they will charge? They will charge a high interest rate. Then requirements of collateral, very good. Lower. And the mode of repayment is easy or difficult? It is very easy. Very good. The next, commercial banks. Then rate of interest is high or low? Very good. Low interest rate. Then requirements of collateral is higher or lower? Very good. It is a higher. Then mode of repayment is easy or difficult? It is difficult. Clear, children? These are the relations of terms of credit and sources of credit. Terms of credit means what all are the items together is known as terms of credit? Rate of interest, requirements of collateral, and a mode of repayment. That three together is known as terms of credit. Clear, children? Next, we are going to classifying credit, the sources of credit on the basis of terms of credit. Okay, children? Classification of sources of credit on the basis of terms of credit. Terms of credit means rate of interest, then second, collateral, and third, mode of repayment. On that basis, the sources of credit. Then sources of credit means from what source does a person get a loan? Clear, children? What is the meaning of sources of credit? From what source does a person get a loan? That source can be classified on the basis of terms of credit. Terms of credit means in the terms of rate of interest, in the terms of collateral, and in the terms of mode of repayment. On that basis, the sources of credit can be divided into two: formal sector loan and informal sector loans. Formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Formal. Formal means what, children? Some terms and conditions they are following. That is, it is known as a formal. Some conditions are there. Then only we can take a loan, or they are ready to provide a loan. That is called a formal sector. Informal sector means what are called the informal sector? Informal sector means there is no terms and conditions. Without terms and conditions, we can take a loan, or those are ready to provide loans. Okay, children? Sources of credit can be classified on the basis of terms of credit into two: formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Okay, formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Please classify. Already we discussed about the sources of credit. Then from that list, you please classify the formal sector loans and the informal sector loans. Very good. Formal sector loans means commercial banks and cooperative societies. Then informal sector loans, then money lenders, very good, landlords, relatives and friends. Clear, children? Formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Next we can see the difference between formal sector loans and informal sector loans. Formal sector loan. RBI supervises their functions of giving loans. Formal sector means a bank. Okay. Then which is the most apex banks in a country? RBI. You know, RBI supervise their functions, the bank's functions of giving loans. There is a one person for supervising the functions of bank. Who is supervising the functions of bank? That is RBI. In the formal sector, there is a one supervisor for the functioning of in which way the banks are giving loans. Okay, but in the informal sector, no organization is there to supervise its lending activity. But in the formal sector, there is a one supervisor. But in the informal sector, there is a no supervisor. Okay, then second difference. Collateral is required to obtain credit. In the formal sector, how we will get a loan? That we should submit collateral. Collateral means security. The collateral is required to obtain credit. But in the informal sectors, gives loans without collateral. Without collateral, they are ready to give the loans. Then, third, rate of interest is comparatively lower than that of the informal sector loan. But in the formal sector, the rate of interest is low. But in informal sector, children, they will charge a high rate of interest. These are the difference. What are the difference between formal sector loans and informal sector loans? In the formal sector will supervised by RBI. But in the informal sector, there is no organization for supervising the function of loan activities or lending activities. In the formal sector, the collateral is required to obtain credit. But in the informal sector, no need any collateral. Without collateral, we can take a loan from those people. Then, in the case of rate of interest, the formal sector, they charge a low rate of interest, but in the informal sector, they will charge a high rate of interest. Clear, children? Okay. What are the terms of credit? Interest rate, collateral and documentation, and the mode of repayment together comprise what is called the terms of credit. Okay. Next, the RBI supervise the functioning of the formal sources of loans. In which way the RBI supervises the functioning of formal sources of loans? That is, the first one, the RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance. You know, what are the important functions of the bank? Very good. Accepting deposits and granting loans. Then which money they are giving us a loan, children? The bank, which money they are using for giving loans? Very good. Deposits. And the full amount of that deposits they are giving us a loan? No. In a small portion of deposit, they will keep as a cash themselves. Is it, children? The sum money bank is keeping with them. That money, the bank is keeping that amount is keeping or not, that amount is checked by RBI. RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance. Cash balance means that amount they are keeping or not. Who will supervise that? That will supervised by the RBI. Then second, the RBI sees that the banks give loan not just to profit-making businesses and traders, but also to small cultivators, small-scale industries, to small borrowers, etc. Okay, children, bank giving loan to not only those business, profit-making business. They want to give loan to those people also. Which people also? Small cultivators, small scale industries, small borrowers. This is the duty of the bank. Who will check this? This also will checked by RBI. The RBI sees that the banks giving loans not just to profit-making businesses, but also to small cultivators, small-scale industries, to small borrowers, etc. First, RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance. They are maintaining cash balance or not. Who will check? RBI will check. Then second, the RBI will check the banks giving loan not only to profit-making business, but also to small cultivators, small-scale industries, etc. Then one more functions also. Periodically, banks have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending, to whom, at what interest rate. Okay, children, that means each bank, they want to give information to RBI. They want to submit information to RBI. What informations the banks need to submit to RBI? How much they are lending, how much money they giving us loan. And this loan they giving to whom? Only profit-making businesses or small-scale industries. Clear, children? How much they are lending, to whom, and at what interest rate. How much interest rate they collecting from the borrower. That information the each bank have to submit to the RBI. This is the way the RBI supervising the formal sectors. Which all are the way the RBI is supervising the formal sector? The first, the RBI monitors the banks in actually maintaining cash balance. Then second, the RBI sees that the banks give loan not just to profit-making businesses but also to small-scale industry, small borrower, etc. Then bank have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending, to whom, at what interest rate, etc. This is the way RBI supervising the formal sectors. Next, cheap and affordable credit important for the country's development. This is a one statement. Cheap and affordable. Cheap means a low rate of interest. Affordable means all the people can afford. All the people can take loans. Okay, affordable. Cheap and affordable credit important for the country's development. Why children like this? Cheap and affordable credit important for the country's development. How this credit led to country's development? The credit will lead to country's development. Then credit and country development, they have any relationship, children? Let's see. This is because about 1/4 of our population is still poor. You know that most of the people in our country is poor people. If we charging high rate of interest, they can't afford the loans. Clear, children? About 1/4 of our population is still poor that have little access to formal sources of credit due to absence of collateral. They can't go to the bank. Why they can't go to the bank and take loans? Because the bank need a collateral. In the poor side, there is an absence of collateral. They have to depend upon the informal source of credit at a high rate of interest. That is why the poor people will borrow money from informal sectors. Okay, but that informal sectors will charge a high rate of interest. Okay. The elderly and women are the poorest of the poor in our society. You know that elder people and women are the poorest of the poor in the society. So, for the women empowerment, cheap and affordable credit is essential for helping them. Then only they can take the loan and they can start any business. If they are starting any business or they will start any employment, then automatically what will come in their hands? Money will come in their hands. When the income coming in their hands, what will happen, children? Their way of life also will change. Clear, children? When the way of life is changing, according that the society will also change. In that way, we can bring out what? Economic development. Cheap and affordable credit would increases incomes of the poor. Okay, children? Cheap and affordable credit would increases income of the poor. They would have to give a little portion of their earning as interest amount and the rest is left with themselves. This would make them economically self-dependent. If the rate of interest is very low means what income they are earning, from that income only little portion they give as a interest rate. The remaining money they can keep it with them and that money they can use for those use that economically that money they are using for self-dependent. Okay. Economic self-dependency would boost up social status of the people. With their increased earning, they could grow crops, do businesses, set up small-scale industries, etc. Through that way, we can start what children? They can start a different type of businesses. Through that way they can earn money. With the help of that money the society will change. The society means the society start to increase, developed, then through because of the society development led to the economic development. That is why which type of credit is very, very essential for an economy, children? Cheap and affordable credit. The cheap and affordable credit only afford means with the help of cheap and affordable credit, poor can take a loan. With the help of loan, they can start a small businesses. Through that way, they can earn money. When they start to earn money, it will change their lifestyle. When their lifestyle change, according that the society will change. According that the economy will also change. That is why cheap and affordable credit is very, very essential for economic development. Did you get me, children? Okay. See you next time. Thank you.